Hi everyone, it's Linda here, the scrapbooking photographer, and today I am taking part in the Rainbow Magic YouTube hop, but also incorporating Scraptember. I haven't played along with any of the other Scraptember days, but I've loved what other people have been doing, so I thought I'd join the gang. And today is about pattern paper, so I'll incorporate that into my Rainbow Magic layout, for which the colour is brown. So with brown as the colour, it made me think of our brown kiwi. Now this was a very special day when I got to hold a kiwi. They're very precious to New Zealand, and I happened to be photographing in the bush at Mangatatari when they were doing a health check on the resident kiwis, and it's a sanctuary in there for them, so it's predator free. So I was very fortunate to be able to hold one and get to know a little bit more about them. Their feet, like chickens' feet really, very strong and very sharp, hence why we were told to hold their feet together so they couldn't claw at us. They're very friendly, and this one is getting his beak measured. Now this is a Kiwi dog, so there are specifically trained dogs to hunt the Kiwi out. So that adds as an assistance to the aerial that looks for the transmitters that are on them. So yeah, a fabulous day, and it'll be great to get that in the album. So I have got some stamps out. I'm lucky enough to have close to my heart make a couple of Kiwi stamps, so I'm going to use this one today, and the leaves from the Leafline Art stamp and thin cuts, and a stamp of the month from long ago. So I'll put those to one side, and the first thing we're going to do is make the background paper. Now this is a double page spread, and I have made one page just to make sure that it worked. So I'll make the other one now so you can see the process. I've been making my own background paper for many years in different things, particularly around Christmas time with the various Christmas stamps and embossing and all that kind of stuff. It's real fun. So if you haven't done that yet, I recommend you give it a go. Okay, so we're going to start with the biggest stamp. Now I've already put them onto blocks so that we can just get into it. So this is a nice big round block, and it's a little bit like big rocks to little blocks, and you can turn now underneath here, just to before I go any further, I have got my Versamat with the sponge side up, and then the multi-purpose mat here so that I can go off the side, and some of the stamps are then only partial ones, and that actually is quite a good idea to make it look a little bit more random. And that way you can have the page up any way you like. There's no right or wrong way. And don't worry too much about these ones that haven't missed, particularly for this layout today, because I'm going to have a piece over the top of that. So that's probably enough of that one. And then we can wipe it off. And then go down to the next biggest one, which is the Kiwi. So I've got him on here. And the same thing, he can be on or off. And the page is really about the Kiwi, so I'm going to put plenty of him on here. Turn it around. Swipe the top of the block. Sometimes it's easier to turn the paper than it is to move the stamp around. Okay, bit of a boo-boo there. Right, so we'll clean that one off. Then we'll go down to the next line, which is just a little row of leaves. And again, we don't necessarily want them all straight in the same angle, so we can mix them up a bit. Get it on the back there, you just have to watch that other end of the stamp. Alrighty, I think that's probably about it. Maybe we can put one more in there. Okay. Then we go down to the little ones. Now I've got two little leaves, one on this side and a slightly bigger one on the other side, just to make the use of the block. So we'll use the bigger of the two first. And it really is just random. Turning it and turning the paper. Just making sure that it stays on top of the Versamat underneath, so you get that spongy surface to stamp on. One more here. And then we can turn it over to the smaller stamp and just fill in a few gaps. Okay, so I'll wipe that off. Now just to blend it all together, I'm actually going to use my brush. Now whilst it says toffee, I'm actually doing it with mocha ink and just going gently over the top just to blend it all in. Not too strongly, and starting on the mat to get the worst of the excess off before it hits the paper. Okay, so we'll put the lid on that, wipe the mat off, now I'll get rid of the Versamat from underneath, and then I'll bring the other page in so you can see the two. Okay, and we can start to do the layout. So as you can see, the kiwis go in every direction, so it really doesn't matter which way up I have the page. What we're going to do is bring in some mocha, and these are just leftovers from another project, and we're just going to pop them in like that to break up that background paper. And then the photos, I'm going to try and do them a little bit in order. So this guy was pretty early on as we marched off to try and find where the kiwis were, so that aerial is picking up the transmission. We had Bella with us, who was the Kiwi detective dog, and she could sniff them out, and when we found the kiwi she was very attentive of it, which was quite cute. This guy was the ranger for the day who introduced us to the kiwi, and we did everything he said. And then this foot is quite amazing, so I'm just going to overlap some of these photos just to link them all together. I could cut that one off, but I don't really want to. I want them to kind of all link in a bit. I might just bring those in and have a similar overlap. And then on the other side, I've only got 3. That one's pretty important. And then these two you can see Bella here looking, the Kiwi is being tested. Anyway, we'll pop her in there so that it kind of lines up with across the top. And then this one just here, need a little bit of room to put some writing underneath them both, so I'll just bring that one up there, and I might just carry on our overlapping by putting me there, and I'm going to mount that photo. The rest tells the story of the background, and this was the highlight for me anyway. So I'm going to mount that in the toffee. I'll go there, and we'll do a title up there, Kiwi Health Check. I might do that in thin cut letters. So I'm going to be using all of these. I'll do Kiwi in the big letters and then Health Check in these ones. So now we've got that up there. Obviously Health Check isn't going to fit in there, so I'm going to pop this piece of toffee in here and do the letters, and I've done the letters rather in the mocha. So that's again just using that overlapping technique, and hopefully it's all going to fit there. If it's not, we'll just move things along a bit so that it does. Because I didn't measure it beforehand. But if we just go like that and like that, that'll all fit. I'm just going to put an extra piece of mocha underneath here, just to keep the distance between these two the same, because we moved that one over and it just looked a bit off balance to me. Right, I'll trim that off to the end of the page. I'm ready to stick that down now. And I'm just going to mount this one, and I'm going to put this one up on some foam tape just to give it a little bit of dimension and a bit of shadow behind it. Now we'll just add a few little journaling strips around the way, and what I'm going to do with them, so I'm going to cut some that are about the right size, and then I'll colour them in just a little bit of toffee. It just brings a little bit more toffee into the page, and we'll still be able to see my journaling over the top of it. But it just blends it a little bit more. I did them in toffee, but it kind of doesn't work well with the background. So I'm going over the top now with mocha. So they'll be nice and dark, but you'll still be able to see the journaling. I think that will blend better, yeah. Want to add a couple of little bits of embellishments, and I have some different leaves that I have cut out from a previous project that I've got left over, and they're the same, come from the same set as these ones that I've used in the background. I'll get out the brown ones and see what we can do with them, given that this is a brown layout. There will be other brown layouts too to look at in the Rainbow Magic YouTube hop, and I'll put a link to the playlist in the description below so that you can check out those other videos and see what other people have done with brown. I'm just dry fitting these leaves around this layout to see where they suit best, and I don't really want to cut any extras, so I'm just going to use these ones here, and when I've got them in the right place I'll just stick them down. And then to finish off, I've got some gold gems just to pop in a few different groups of 3. I think they go really nicely with the brown. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all your subscriptions, your likes and your comments. Happy crafting, everyone!